Have you ever wondered exactly how those viral personal finance videos are actually made? Well, let's dive right into this explainer, because today we're basically acting as architectural inspectors. We're going to deconstruct the exact blueprint required to craft a world-class personal finance script. We've got our hands on a really fascinating source document, a highly detailed prompt designed to tell a writer exactly how to create a wildly engaging, educational, and motivational script about building wealth. It gives us a literal look under the hood at how digital education is engineered, piece by piece, to grab your attention and keep it.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First up, the video script blueprint. Second, core content requirements. Third, retention and audience engagement. And finally, ethics, risks, and disclosures.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the video script blueprint, setting the foundation.
So right out of the gate, the source document lays down a hard constraint, a strict limit of 1,200 to 1,500 words. And why that specific number? Because it ensures the script hits a precise 7 to 8 minute runtime. This is entirely intentional, you guys. It proves that efficient pacing is literally the foundation of audience engagement. The writer is explicitly told to crank out a 100% original, copyright-free, and SEO-optimized script that fits perfectly into this exact time box. It's a very mathematical approach to keeping viewers focused.
But it's obviously not just about hitting a word count. The writer is tasked with stepping into the role of a world-class personal finance educator and storytelling expert. Their mission? To tackle this specific, highly searched topic, how to build wealth even on a low income. And they have to ensure the material is perfectly tailored for a channel dedicated specifically to personal finance and investing. So the foundation is completely set. Write a strictly timed, highly optimized script for a very specific audience looking to better their financial situation. Moving right along to Section 2, Core Content Requirements. Building the frame.
Now, what's really interesting here is seeing exactly what educational value has to be packed into that 1,500-word frame. The source outlines a strict narrative arc. First, grab them immediately with a beginner-friendly hook and introduction. Then, deliver exactly 7 practical wealth-building strategies. That's the real meat of the content. Finally, send them off with a motivational conclusion. It's a highly structured framework. You promise value up front, you deliver it in a super organized list, and you end on a high note.
And to actually fill out those 7 strategies, the blueprint lays down the law. It strictly requires smart budgeting and saving tips, beginner-friendly investing guidance, a breakdown of common financial mistakes to avoid, and, crucially, grounding it all in real-life illustrative examples. This guarantees the final script is packed with comprehensive, actionable, everyday advice rather than just abstract financial theory.
Okay, let's pivot to Section 3, Retention and Audience Engagement. The polish.
I absolutely love this part. Just look at the extreme precision required here. The creator has exactly 20 to 30 seconds to deliver what the prompt calls a powerful hook before transitioning into that beginner-friendly introduction. This tells us a lot about the personal finance education space. Basically, if you don't immediately validate exactly why the viewer clicked within that opening half minute, you've already lost them. It is totally cutthroat.
And this next directive brilliantly highlights the underlying strategy of modern content creation. The prompt explicitly says to use simple English that is easy for beginners. But listen to the second half of that instruction, and suitable for AI voiceover. Wow. The script has to read so cleanly and naturally that an artificial intelligence can narrate it, while still making the final product feel like it was written by a professional finance YouTuber. It's this fascinating blend of human storytelling and automated delivery.
Beyond the actual words, the writer has to literally engineer the pacing. They're instructed to pepper the script with curiosity hooks throughout and maintain smooth transitions between sections. They can't just list facts, right? They have to continuously tease the next piece of information to optimize audience retention. And, of course, all of this careful engineering culminates in a strong, direct call to action to like, comment, share, and subscribe to drive that channel growth.
But it doesn't even stop with the dialogue. The scriptwriter's job isn't just text. They are required to act as a visual director, too. The prompt explicitly demands suggestions for B-roll, stock footage, charts, animations, and on-screen text. This just proves that an engaging explainer requires constant visual stimulation to prevent viewer fatigue. The visuals are mapped out just as meticulously as the words.
Finally, we reach Section 4, Ethics, Risks, and Disclosures, the safety features. This creates such a fascinating tightrope for the writer to walk. On one hand, they are instructed to make the tone highly engaging, educational, and motivational. But on the other hand, they face a hard stop. They must absolutely not promise guaranteed profits or present investing as risk-free. Think about how tricky that is. They have to pump up the viewer and motivate them to take action while simultaneously neutralizing any language that sounds even remotely like a guaranteed get-rich-quick scheme.
To drive that home, even though the prompt demands real-life examples to make things concrete, it forces a major caveat. The writer must clearly explain that investments can lose value and that all examples are strictly illustrative. This acts as a mandatory safety feature to protect beginner investors from assuming risk-free success. It is a necessary bit of friction injected into a script that is otherwise designed purely for maximum retention and engagement.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to consider what we've just uncovered. If a strict mechanical blueprint can successfully engineer a highly engaging, ethical finance script, what does this actually mean for the future of digital education? We've seen how algorithms, precise word counts, mandated curiosity hooks, and structured ethical prompts are quietly directing exactly how we learn about wealth today. It's highly calculated, heavily optimized, and deeply structured. So I'll leave you with this. The next time you watch an educational video online, are you just learning a new topic, or are you experiencing a perfectly executed architectural blueprint?